Hello and welcome, I'm your host KB, and you're watching the Retrospective.
One, two, three, and four.
I've made a few different videos now about series that star childhood versions of beloved characters, from the likes of a pup named Scooby-Doo to the Flintstones kids. As previously mentioned, these shows have seemingly mixed reviews, with some deriding them for their departure from the source material, while others love them for being something different. I definitely fall into the latter category, and with a strong dose of nostalgia egging me on, I can't help but cover these seemingly flawed but still charming series which were a big part of my cartoon watching childhood. Now, with that said, I thought it was the perfect time to discuss my favourite of these child reimagining series with the Tom and Jerry Kids Show. The Tom and Jerry franchise was first created by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera way back in the 1940s. They started out as shorts produced by MGM and were somewhat a launching point for the Hanna-Barbera company as we know it, with the shorts proving to be very popular and even winning several Academy Awards. The stories revolved around a rivalry between a house cat named Tom and a mouse named Jerry. With a lot of slapstick humour, Jerry manages to foil Tom's efforts to capture him in many different, albeit violent ways. The early Tom and Jerry shorts were re-edited for television starting in 1965, and since then the duo's rights has changed hands, with different production companies taking the reins and producing TV series for the properties in the 70s, 80s and 90s.
The Tom and Jerry Comedy Show.
Hanna-Barbera had their hand in a number of these series, and following a boom of then modern reimaginings of classic characters, Tom and Jerry received the same treatment with the Tom and Jerry Kids Show. The series was a co-production between Hanna-Barbera and Turner Entertainment, who had acquired the rights to the characters after purchasing MGM in 1986. The show first aired on the Fox Kids network starting in 1990. Off the bat, the show's official title is The Tom and Jerry Kids Show, which always seemed a bit too wordy to me, so I always just referred to it as Tom and Jerry Kids. It follows the same simple formula as the original shorts, but showcased younger and cuter versions of Tom, now sporting a baseball cap, and Jerry with a red bow tie. The episodes were made up of 3 smaller segments, which would include one or more Tom and Jerry stories, with the other segments featuring other characters. The bulk of these were either Droopy and Dribble, or Spike and Tyke, which were included in the show's intro, but there were other original characters who featured in their own segments, such as Slowpoke Antonio and Calaboose Cal, but they would only receive a couple of appearances. The 3-segment show made for a fun and easy watch as a kid, which was probably best for my attention span back then anyway. As with Tom and Jerry both being mute, it would have been a challenge to maintain a compelling story for a full 30 minutes. Having these other original characters segments allowed for dialogue and helped give the show some variety.
Come on, son. Let's bug out. You, Papa.
Production-wise, the show is amazing, the designs are great, and the animation, as always, is top-notch. Hanna-Barbera really nailed the cutesy look during this period of animation, with all these shows' visuals still holding up today. The show also featured a painfully catchy theme song, which still gets stuck in my head to this very day.
It's the Tom and Jerry kids. Gotta be there where all the action is. Tom and Jerry kids. The Tom and Jerry kids. So big tail, little tail, chasing all around. It's a cat and mouse game that never lets down. Well, there's Spike and Tyke, Goofy and Ripple. Come on and have some fun.
It's so simple! Sorry. Of all the babified series from this era, the Tom and Jerry Kids show seems to be the least divisive, and I think that's due to the fact that of these series, it is the most faithful to the original source material. The series did quite well, lasting for 4 seasons, with 65 episodes airing during the original run between 1990 and 1993. After the show was cancelled by Fox in 93, the reruns would then air on the Cartoon Network, which is where I first saw them. Some of the episodes received VHS releases back in the 90s, but since then there have only been spotty DVD releases. With us being in a new era of streaming, and with Warner Brothers set to launch HBO Max later this year, I would love to see them include some sort of Hanna-Barbera collection. That way, great series like the Tom and Jerry Kids show can be made available again and enjoyed by a new audience and old fans alike, as the series is definitely worth checking out.
Tom and Jerry kids. The Tom and Jerry kids. The Tom and Jerry kids do show.
Like I always say, thank you very much for watching. I really do mean that. Please go and subscribe to the channel, go watch some of my older content, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of The Retrospective.